Stand by your man. Oh my gosh, she is in full protection mode, child. Look at him. He is just sitting back, resting in his femininity as she fight that damn battle for him. Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, it is about that time. Let's sip some sensibility, shall we? So at this point, everyone is well aware of the interview that Carlos King had with Maurice Scott of Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? So we are going to check it out, and we're going to break this thing down like a fraction, because I got some things to say. So let's get into it, y'all.
Kimmy, I'd like to give you the opportunity to respond to a headline. A sad case of a man. Love and Marriage Huntsville fans slam Maurice for demanding intimacy while Kimmy goes through chemotherapy. Kimmy, what is your response to the backlash that Maurice has been getting lately?
So here's the thing, like originally, I didn't even watch it. He told me he had an interview.
So I want y'all to check out his eyes and his demeanor and his body language all through this interview. It's that smug ass look that he has and that arrogance for me.
With Carlos, and usually I just kind of get the
look how that Bama looking at her. He like, now don't you deviate from what in the hell we practice and well rehearsed, because you know they probably went over like, I need you to be strategic. I need you to cover me. I need you to use those big SAT words, and I need you to convince the crowd that I'm not the ass and the misogynistic, chauvinistic pig that people think that I am, or actually know that you are, allegedly. But look at that stare that he's giving her. He's like, now don't you fuck up now. Stay with the script.
nuts and bolts of it. You know, he was like, well, we did this. He asked me about that, and I didn't do anything. And then when I finally saw stuff just kind of everywhere, I was like, oh my gosh, what did you say?
Maurice is literally sadistic. He has a little twinkle in his eyes, and he literally gets off on riling her up and effing with her, okay, and making her feel like ish. Let's continue.
I literally was like, what did you say?
That Bama is literally smiling. Everything is a joke to him.
And so one of the comments somebody keeps screenshotting around is the fact that I said, let me go see the interview. And people were like, I don't believe she hasn't seen it. And I just got life. Like, we got stuff. So when I actually did see it, I told him, I said, that was disrespectful. Like,
and just a little backstory. And for those of you who didn't get the opportunity to hear the interview with Carlos King, essentially during that interview, Maurice talked about how Kimmie was willing to have sex with him and suffer through it. This mama don't give a rat's arse about what she's talking about. She's visibly, of course, upset. And it seems like he would take his hand and kind of rub her and soothe her and kind of reassure her that everything is okay, or that he kind of feels for her in this moment. But no, he's just kind of side-eyeing her and looking at her like whatever, because she's kind of leaning forward, as she has been the entire time somewhat. And his arm is just sitting back on a chair, never touching her, at least not at this moment, at this juncture. But let's continue.
The words that you chose were cruel to me. It wasn't protecting me. The irony of the conversation in itself was that if you actually watch the show, I'm the one who initiated the conversation in regards to the fact that the chemo has affected my libido. And I know that affects him and his sexual interest. So he has never forced me to do one single thing. He has never made me. He has never implied he was going to leave me. So the headlines, in order to get likes and tags, I absolutely get it.
And so, Kimmy, here's the thing. He may not have explicitly said that if you don't have intercourse with me during this time, I am going to leave you, step out on a marriage with someone else. But it's implicit, it's implied, because for those of us who actually follow the show Love and Marriage Huntsville, we know their story and some of the things he said as it pertains to wanting to have sexual intercourse with his wife, that is, 2 times a day, 6-7 days a week. And I mean, just everything is on joke time. And come on, You treat her like a mammy. You treat her like a mule. You don't clean up the damn house. You expect her to do everything, raise your son, and all that. But I ain't trying to get too far off into that story. But you work her like a cottonmouth mule. She's suffering through cancer, and she had triple negative breast cancer at that, which is an extremely aggressive form of cancer. And you're wanting her to have sex with you to satisfy your carnal needs, you selfish mofo. But you notice how he's just looking at her, just as smug and like, yep, honey, you sticking to the script. And now she's getting into the part to where now she's covering him and protecting him. But you notice his eyes and his eyebrows kind of lit up, or eyebrows kind of raised. He kind of looked over to her just a bit when she said that all of this may have been just for tags or clicks or views, or implied that no, that's how that mofo really think. He's a big troll. He's a huge troll, but I believe it's truth in every joke, and everything with him is, playing that sheepish, coy, innocent role as if though, oh, I don't know. But we're gonna listen to him double down on the bullish that he said. Let's continue. Kimmy, you need to stop protecting this man because he clearly didn't have your back, honey.
The words that he chose to use throughout that interview, I felt were a bad choice of words in regards to me, because it didn't protect me in the words that he chose to use to describe. Like, I think he said, bend over and take it. That's like ridiculous.
And he meant every damn word of it, because he looks at you as an object, as a tool, as a resource for money, and to take care of his kid, his household, help finance his endeavors and ventures, and to, again, satisfy his sexual needs as an objectified object like most misogynists do.
Like, that's ridiculous. And I told him, I said, that was awful. The wording choice was awful.
I want to jump in and say something real quick. I was horrified too with some of the language. And I spoke about having a situation where it was the reverse. I had a man that had some issues. I want to ask both of you. Kimmie, I want to ask you first, do you feel the pressure? Like, if I don't satisfy my man, even when I don't feel good, am I nervous? Do I feel a way about the future of my marriage? And Maurice, if you could take back what you said, would you rephrase it, or do you stand on exactly what you said?
So for me, like I said, we filmed it and everything. For Kimmie, I never felt like he was going to leave me. That wasn't the case whatsoever. However, even before our chemo issue came up, we already had conversation about our sex life. We talked about our sex life before we got married. So this is like an honest statement. In Kimmie's world, I had made up in my head 7 days was the limit. Like, I would never make my husband go more than 7 days.
Honey, Kimmie is in full protection mode as Maurice sits back in his femininity. Girlfriend is like, stand by your man.
I don't care if we're angry. I don't care what's going on. That was always Kimmie's rule in her head. And so in this case, we went about 2 weeks and I was like, ugh. So it was my choice, because I know that that's fulfilling for both of us. It's fulfilling for both of us. Like, at the end of the day, he's not the only one missing out. I'm missing out because I don't have the same climax. I don't have the same arousal. You know what I'm saying? So I never had that conversation based on the fact that I thought he was going to leave.
Kimmie, stop mansplaining, honey. Who you trying to convince, yourself or us? Okay? Because Maurice in the background looking like, yeah, you knew that you needed to get on your job, no matter the fact that you were suffering and trying to recover from a damn deadly illness that could have taken you out of here. The hell with that is all about me, child. Stop mansplaining. Please put her out her misery, Funky Deneva. Come on.
I know I love my husband, and that is a big part of our world. I don't physically hurt. It doesn't hurt me to have sex. It doesn't do that whatsoever. It was just the arousal of the moment and the climax that is very different for me. So I'm just not getting the same fulfillment out of the sexual activity that he was.
We got it. So let's get Maurice in here. Maurice, do you think it was selfish for you to force your wife to suffer through it while she was fighting for her life? Your words.
Your words. Now, those are my words. And I'm going to own the words that I say.
Oh, we know that you're going to stand 10 toes down in misogyny, honey. We know that.
However, you have to take everything into full context. I didn't have knowledge of her suffering. At the end of the day, this is the thing. She surprised the hell out of me on television, talking about, you know what? I'm not getting it. I'm faking it. Like, listen, it's on national TV. So I'm like, oh, really? So you're faking it. This whole time I'm thinking that you're doing it. And it puts everything into context when you watch the television show and then you actually see the interview. Because for me to find out that she's faking it, and then for me to analyze the situation and say, it's admirable for her to do this because, number one, most people that do things for you let you know that they're doing it for you.
Honey, like I said in another video, Kimmy, blink twice if you want to get the hell up out that marriage. I know that man that stressed you the F out. You see how his ass about to buck out his damn head? That's how you know he coming to you with the bullshit. That's how you know he coming with the gaslighting, okay? And look at Kimmy. She's shrewd, right? And she's playing that semi-quasi Stepford wife bullshit because she want a man, right? She wants to keep that man her husband, okay? Kimmy, you're in your early 50s. You're gorgeous, honey. You have overcome a huge hurdle and insurmountable odds, right? You had a successful nursing career that this Bama made you quit in order to help him with his endeavors. Anyway, I ain't trying to go off on a tangent, but baby, I can see it in your eyes that you like, motherfucker, you full of shit. We know he full of shit. You know he full of shit. And it's time for you to acknowledge to him that you know that he's full of shit. But look at him, child, his lying ass. Girl, he just damn mad because he said that you faked it, right? So are you trying to punish her, Maurice? Is that what we're doing here? By trying to embarrass her during that damn interview because she says she faking it and then want to goddamn be spreading her legs and rolling it over, bending it over or whatever for your old freakish ass, child?
They don't let you find out later on, oh, wow, you were actually hurting or you were going through something and you were sharing that and you were doing it for me. So, of course, I would change my words and give better context in any type of interview. However, I still find it.
No, what would have been admirable was for your ass not to be selfish and go in the back room and get your jollies elsewhere, you damn pervert mother.
You don't
Do it.
you don't think it was a little cringy to even want to have sex with her while she was going through that? And I asked that because typically if somebody's not feeling well, we don't make them cook. We don't make them wash the dishes. We may not make them take the kids to school, and all of those things are oftentimes considered a wife's duty. You didn't think it would be all right for her to forego that one duty while she was going through this?
See, this is the thing. We weren't doing it on the day she was feeling good.
Maurice, I call bullshit. Bullish. And look at Kimmy. She's like, you know this motherfucker lying, right?
Unless I didn't know that either.
Interesting.
Child, you can't make this ish up. Claudia looked like she's about to rip a new one, and here she come in a minute. And Funky, he's right. He's like interesting, as if like, did you just really just say this ish? And Al's just looking like, wow, you know, almost like looking down in judgment through his glasses. But Kimmy in particular, she's like looking like a damsel in damn distress, like somebody please get me away from this mofo and this bullshiggity. She looked like she got Stockholm syndrome, okay? She looks like she is in dire straits. And he's just looking like, I said what the fuck I said, all with a grin, a sheepish grin at that, as if he's done nothing wrong. Let's continue.
So can you ask you earlier, would you rephrase anything that you said? Because it seemed your wife just revealed that it was your words, right? And how you said things, bend over and take it. If you, I've done this many times, I've said stuff and it's like, I wish I would have said it like this. Would you rephrase anything? Would you do over? Or are you like, no, I meant it exactly.
Definitely. Anytime my wife feels like she's not protected by whatever I do, that's my job. That's why God gave her to me, is to make sure I have a covering and protection over her at all times.
See, low key, Claudia came from your manhood. This is the most serious you've been the entire interview, okay? Because you feel like it's your job as a man to be a protector, especially in a patriarchal society, being the chauvinist that you are. But we know that you're not a protector. You're looking for covering from her. That's why her eyes are shifting all around. She's looking down, looking low key sad. Eyes are kind of shifting. I'm going to replay it one more time and look at the body language.
Anytime my wife feels like she's not protected, by whatever I do, that's my job. That's my job to me, is to make sure that I have a covering and protection over her at all times. And if she feels like my words are crass, then I'll take my words. I'm not one of those people that say, man, I said what I said. Now, mind you, that's a great quote and everything else that goes around social media. I said what I said. I don't even know where that came from. But I'm not one of those people. It came from
Candy on the Housewives of Atlanta. She said it on one of the reels.
But I'm not one of them. I said what I said. I said what I said. Hold on, let me say it better the next time.
You still haven't apologized. You still dancing and skirting around the issue. And basically, you are double, tripling, and quadrupling down on what you said because you haven't changed a thing. Basically, you're saying, I'm sorry if I made you feel a way. And if my words are crass, then I will rephrase it or I will dial it back. Not because I feel bad about insulting my wife and how she may have taken it, only because she feels bad. Child, like that's almost like equivalent to apologizing, but giving but. I'm sorry, but. Child.
So I know y'all probably been through this, and we know Martell and Melody have gone through this. The fans have been voicing their opinion about Maurice's remarks, and many of them are saying, Kimmie should leave the relationship. Obviously, you're not going nowhere, but has all this scatterbutt from the fans affected you guys' relationship in any way?
I actually really don't care what people say that don't love me. Like, they love me one day and they hate me the next. I don't really care what Kimmie says. If Kimmie says it offends her, guess what?
Maurice, stop lying. Stop lying. You already said that your word is law. Your word is final. You'll never change for anyone. You'll listen to her and your ex-wife's input, the biological mother of your son, Kimmy Zabona's mom. And you said in that interview that you have the final say for everything. You will consider what they say. So, which means you feel like you are right and you're standing in your ish as far as it being admirable for her to roll over, bend over, and to be amenable and to acquiesce to your carnal needs. Negro, please. Child, I was about to cuss. But anywho, no, you're not changing. You don't help her do no damn chores around the house. You don't help raise your son. You don't do ish. The only thing that you will acquiesce to is her opening up her wallet, allegedly, or probably putting ish in her name, allegedly, to help you goddamn finance your shit. Child, let me hush. Allegedly.
If Monster that offends him, Jalen, any of the kids, guess what? I'll change. But
I think
There's
that's
a moment in time being on, television that we have to take a lot of comments, whether we agree, don't agree. I usually take most of them with a grain of salt most of the time.
However, he's giving you that look like, don't you go off damn script, because Kimmie is really strong-minded underneath that Stepford wife veneer that she has to exude in order to appease his ego. Child, let's listen.
I think, some of our fans to me just go overboard, like really for real. But in general, I felt like a lot of them were warranted, that the communication, it was crass. I mean, it was crass and, non-protecting, disrespectful. A lot of those comments were on point.
And I gotta say this as the woman here, and I'm sorry, Al, I know you haven't had a chance to say anything. I still haven't heard him rephrase it in a kinder way right here on the show. I've been trying to give you the opportunity because I feel like your wife is protecting you more than you're protecting her. I feel like she's protecting your rep, and I'm like, Kimmie, I should have said it like this. I'm sorry. And it's like, I feel so bad for her. Like, I can't imagine going through what she's going through, you saying that, and then me asking you twice if you would rephrase it, and you said, yeah, but you really haven't. It seems like it's more about you than her still, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, and you can tell me shut the fuck up if you want to. It's just my opinion,
Let me.
See, oftentimes Maurice has that kind of archetype to where he likes to play mind games and head games with people. He thinks he's so super deep and cerebral, right? Now, Kimmie, in that moment, told the truth. She said, I don't feel protected. I didn't feel protected. And the fans were on point with the comments that they made. Now, I think she was being very authentic in that moment. Now, Maurice is the type that likes to kind of play ping pong, good cop, bad cop with people. But she was telling the truth right there. But let's see how he tries to explain it. But Claudia, sweetie, honey, many claps for you because you can't care more about a person than they care for themselves. So the fans or the viewers are up in arms or outraged, and it went viral all over social media. What you said about her bending over and it being admirable that she's suffering through it for you. Child, Kimmy, we can't care more than you do. I think you do feel a way, but you're so hell bent on keeping this marriage because you are of a particular age, even though you're gorgeous, honey, as I said earlier, and you got your shit together, you feel like, I got this man. It may not be many prospects out there for me. Child, you ain't got to have no man, especially if somebody's going to treat you like a mattress and a goddamn mammy and a mule, okay? But let's listen how he tried to get out this shit for Claudia, and then we're going to wrap this thing on up, child.
I understand where you're coming from. And what I said is you got to get it in the context. I'm not going to rephrase. You said, what I rephrase it? Yes, I would rephrase it. But at the end of the day, we're talking about this because I've already said something, right? There's no taking it back. There's no ringing that bell. That bell's rung. That's why we're here. At the end of in the future, what I will do is I'll make sure that my wife feels protected. I don't feel any different about the situation. At the end of the day, my wife did something that most people won't do. Simply, she put her personal feelings aside. I never wanted her to do anything that was uncomfortable. I wanted her to stop working. I wanted her to put everything to the side and let's get better. So when she's doing things to find a sense of normalcy in life, guess what? I don't know, because I'm not inside of her, what makes her feel good, what doesn't make her feel good, when she's feeling good, when she's not. So at the end of the day, you know what?
Maurice, I feel that